Stop! If you're thinking about renovating an investment property right now, you need to watch this video first and understand that the value of the renovations you're planning to do in a market that's heading downwards is also depreciating, especially if you plan to BRRR, BRRR, and I'll explain why this is very important for you to know in this video. Now, if you're looking for some help on how to navigate this real estate market, you can book a call with me using the link that's on the screen. It's right here. It's www.chatwithzen.com. Simply click on the date and a time that works best for you. And then when you see the prompt, fill in your name, email, mobile phone number, and the question you have for me, and then we'll chat then. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. My name is Zen, and I run a RE/MAX brokerage in the Greater Toronto Area on top of making awesome real estate educational content like this for you. Now, here's why you need to be really good at managing and pricing renovation right now so that you actually make money, because when the market is trending down, your renovations are losing value. I've seen too many overdone renos right now, and these investors or flippers aren't being bailed out by an appreciating market. So you're underwater, because if you plan to renovate a property, by the time you're done renovating, the money and time you sunk into the renovation could be less than what it's worth what you thought it was worth, because the market is going downwards, right? The house is depreciating in value faster than you can renovate it potentially. Yeah, let that sink in for a second, right? Now, your anticipated after reno value, or a lot of people call it ARV, will likely also be lower, like I was saying earlier, especially when you mix that with banks are being more conservative with their appraisals right now. So in a market that's trending upwards, any reno, even a bad one, gets saved and bailed up by appreciation. But you don't get that right now because the market is heading in a different direction. Now, let me give you an example of value renos, right? So when we set up our listings, right, we generally do touch-ups and upgrades that provide a return on investment, right, or ROI. So meaning if we invest $1 into it, right, we want to get more than $1 back. And I generally try to aim for at least $2, right, because you have to put time in the renovation or upgrades, right? So some easy ones would be changing kitchen handles, light fixtures, pot lights in the house. You could do it in a condo, so it's a little bit harder, and backsplash. And you notice how I didn't say paint, but that's a topic for a different day. But as an investor, if you're planning to do bigger reno projects that are BRRRR or even flipping potentially, which includes stuff like flooring, new kitchens, bathroom walls, a lot of cosmetic stuff, this is where you may want to reconsider, especially if you're planning to hold on to the property, right? The cost of these materials is still very elevated right now. And the cost of trades are still very elevated right now. And then you have to factor in the fact that it takes time to do the renovations, which has a carrying cost when you own the property, right? So it's better to just buy turnkey right now as an investor if you plan to hold. And let me give you an example, right? So a lot of people like to legalize basements to increase cash flow, turn a single home into a duplex, right? For lack of a better term. And that cost is anywhere between $120,000 to $160,000 right now with permits and drawings, depending on your finishes, right? But let's just call it $180,000 with carrying costs of, 4 months, right? So in most cities where you do add legal basements, you could buy something right now for less than the cost of the house you bought plus the renovations right now. Yeah. The challenge even is that when you're done, say the renovations as part of, say, your BRRRR, your appraisal could come in much lower than what you want because the banks are being conservative right now. And I've talked about it many times before, which will effectively mean that you can't even pull out all your renovation money, right? Meaning you're more than 20% into the property that you're trying to add value to. So if you just bought something that's turnkey with 20%, it's a lot less headache and a lot less money you invest into the property, and it still works out. See what I mean? Now, if you found this content useful, it probably means someone else will, especially if you know someone who's planning to do a renovation or a BRRRR right now. Make sure you share with them. And while you're at it, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the Prime Pro channel, because we drop awesome content like this on a weekly basis. And if you're looking for some help on how to navigate the real estate market, you can book a call with me using the link that's on the screen right now. It's www.chatwithzen.com. So I'm going to go back to talking about that example about the BRRRR, right? So I'm going to put some numbers up for you. It's going to be a little bit, advanced per se, right? But so that you can understand in the numbers I'm trying to show you, right? So if you were to buy that property for, say, $500,000, the one that you plan to put a legal basement in right now, that's going to cost you $100,000 as down payment, plus or minus closing costs, whatever. But just keep the numbers, very basic right now. So if you put in the renovation cost and the carrying cost, let's just call it that $180,000, that means you're all in $280,000 already. That's how much capital you need. And this is on top of not assuming you're going to borrow it, which costs more money. So let's say your after rental value is $700,000, assuming you get your appraisal, which means your cash out at the end of this when you refi is only $160,000, which is less than your renovation money. So you're better off not doing the renos, right? You see my point? Now, let's just say your ARV is $750,000, right? You would get $200,000 cash out refi, but you would have spent 4 months dealing with it to legalize, permit, drawing, managing the trades just to pull out $20,000. Is it really worth your time? I mean, you're the judge of it, it's your own money, right? But I just personally don't think it's worth it, right? Because without the appreciation factor during the renovation, the perfect BRRRR is very, very hard to do. Like very, very hard, because people get bailed up by appreciating market, right? So unless you find something severely distressed, and yes, I know there are a lot of people who are really good at them, taking advantage of old grandmothers, right? Or you're very good at managing trades, or you can do the renovations yourself in a good, timely manner. Investing in a property that requires renovations just doesn't make any sense right now, especially if you're just getting started. It's best to just buy turnkey, fill the property, and move on with your life. So if you are looking for some turnkey cash flowing properties, yes, they still do exist right now. A lot of our clients are looking for them, even at today's current rates.Ey're just harder to find, and sometimes they're tenanted. So if you want to know where our clients are investing right now, you can book a call with me using the link that's on the screen. It's right here. It's www.chatwithzen.com. Until next time, your move, your future. See ya. Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one? Oh, you know what? This one's good too. Ooh, this one's really good. You know what? Just watch them both.